What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting in terms of, forcing your body into ketosis to lose some of that fat? Do you think, from a doctor's perspective, have you found that has been pretty successful for patients, or do you think that might be a good option for people?
I haven't personally followed people's like scans, weights, body composition from fasting because it's hard to track and it's relying on self-reporting.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of bias there. But like from my own personal thing, like we grew up wrestling, so we had to cut weight. So we're used to fasting and being Muslim. So I did fast for a few years. I think it's healthy. Like a few years ago when I was in training, I started with the keto diet. I dropped down like 15 pounds and it happened like really quick too.
Yeah.
Within like a month. And then I added intermittent fasting to that and dropped like another 10 pounds. But I felt great because when you're like, no matter what your body does, it's consuming energy. Most people don't realize you don't need the amount of calories most people consume on a daily basis. Like when I ate meals, my body shut down because that's my GI tract, like using up all that energy to break down all those foods, where if half my body's not consumed breaking down foods, it can be consumed doing other things. You know more about fasting than I do.
Yeah, it's a whole, like we could do a whole podcast on fasting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of thoughts on intermittent fasting. Like the way people think about intermittent fasting, it's not the way it's supposed to be done. So it's not calorie restriction. You're supposed to eat the same amount you would in that 24-hour period,
right? But
in a shorter time period,
Smash
an
it down to
8 hour
8 hours
period. And, to get the benefits, they say you're supposed to do like a 3-day fast, like to really get into that autophagy. But, most people can't do that. I can't do it. But like with the intermittent fasting, you want at least 16 hours of fasting. So usually like go to bed at 8 p.m. or stop eating at 6, 7 p.m. and then don't eat again until like, I'd say noon, 1 o'clock the next day. That's the right way to do it. And you don't need to do it every day. You could do it 4 or 5 days out of the 7 every week.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you don't need to like feel like you fell off because you missed a day or two.
It'll give you the health benefits. Then every once in a while you do like the 3-day or 5-day fast. And there are fasting protocols that are very similar.
The only time I did a 3-day fast was when Sarah stopped cooking.
So you couldn't even do a PB&J? No. You can't make a PB&J?
Yeah, so there are these fasting mimicking diets, which you can get the recipes on what you can actually eat during those for the 5 days, which, they have like different mixes of carbohydrates and proteins and stuff and fats, which continue to keep you in the fasting state. So you do get all the added benefits of being in that fasted state. Like I've used the Prolon, I've done it a few times. It cleans your digestive tract, resets your metabolisms, kicks you in autophagy. It's a great way to do it. It's a lot of soups and stuff. Some people do it with their own thing. It's got some protein bars and like
bone
some
broth.
other. There's different ways of doing it, and you can get those benefits. And then there's rapamycin, which kind of acts like and gets you into that autophagy that you do get with the fasting state. So I kind of do it all. I usually do the intermittent fasting almost on a daily basis. Once or twice a week, I'll have like something for breakfast, but most of the days I usually
like a good cleanse, like P.F. Chang's once a week.